of all those wounded in this war, and all the other people who need a refuah, and the return of the hostages, and the aliyot neshama of those who were killed, and the protection and success of our soldiers who are on the gvulot now. Okay, so on last Wednesday, there was a presentation and meditation that Rav Daniel Katz led, which was participated with close to 3,000 people. And he said, in the beginning, he said that people keep coming up to him and asking, what does this Makubal say, or this Rav say? Is this Mashiach? Is this it? And I'm thinking, yeah, tell me, this is what I want to know. But he said, no, that's the wrong question. And that the thing instead is that we need to make this the time of Mashiach coming. We need to make this the time of Mashiach coming. That we need to do things to turn, to bring goodness in the world, and to make this the time of Mashiach. So I'm reminded of the campaigns of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, encouraging everyone to do more mitzvot, more Torah, teach more people, and to know that we can bring Mashiach. And I remember even we were giving out good cards to everybody. So do one more good thing. Like, it wasn't just asking people on the street, are you Jewish, or light candles, but to everybody to encourage goodness in the world, and on so that everybody could participate in this. And we need to know that our actions have repercussions in the physical, in the spiritual worlds, and we need to be doing that. And also remember the 28th of Nisan, 5751 in 1991, when the Rebbe called on everyone to arouse a yearning for a Mashiach, and he said, I remember this so well, and he said, I've done all that I can, and now it's up to you. And I think that in this time of tsar, we need to all work together to change this into a time of Yeshua and of joy. So what can we do? So the soldiers have their jobs. May Hashem protect them and fight with them and for them. And we know that before this happened, like days before this happened, our enemy saw people saying, we won't answer our reserve requests. We won't fight for this government. There, young people were also saying, we won't go in this army because we don't believe in this government. And so the enemies felt, yes, we can beat them. But in reality, more than 130% of reservists showed up, meaning that thousands of people who were not even called showed up. They flew from India and the US and South America to fight for our people. And the thousands of people now who are cooking and collecting supplies for the soldiers and for the evacuees. There are 200,000 people who have had to leave their homes because of this fighting inside of Israel.
How many? 200,000?
Yeah, at this point, including our neighbors, on the Gvul of Lebanon. And these people who are cooking, many of these people weeks ago were saying, I want to go to Europe. This isn't my country anymore. I don't recognize it. And now they're collecting clothes and cooking, and people who expressed hatred for religious people are now, they kosher in their restaurants so that there shouldn't be any soldiers that can't eat their food. So this is like a tremendous thing. And I think that a lot of all of us, all throughout the country, we're living in our own little bubbles. And for those people in Tel Aviv, they felt like, well, there's us, and then there's the Haredim who don't do anything, and we just support them and we hate them. And I think now there's, everyone is meeting each other as people. And they're seeing that, yes, there are a lot of very many religious soldiers in the army, and that the people who are not soldiers, that they're doing zaka and they're doing hatzalah and they're making food and they're relating as Klal Yisrael and as people. So that's a big thing. Yeah. Yes. 3,000 now. It's up to 3,000. Yeah, and people, are doing everything they can, and so this is a tremendous thing that we're seeing. So, but in it, and any of us who can participate in all of these wonderful actions, we should do it, and we should be asking Hashem at the time we're doing it to look on what we're doing and to save us. So we know that. And I just wanted to talk, we know from, we just had Yom Kippur right before this happened, it feels like, that in the time of trouble, that harsh decrees can be annulled with teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about it. So in terms of tefillah, in some ways, it feels like it's easier to daven now because we have so much of a need. But sometimes I just wanted to talk about what we can do to make our tefillot when they're not that way. Because many of us have wrote tefillot, because you do it and you do it. So in Rav Adin Steinsaltz in the 13 Petal Rose talks about 3 ways to raise up our davening. So the first way is that while we're davening, we should work to make sure we're understanding and identifying with the words. And a good way to do that is to daven with like each phrase on its own, so that you say each phrase, maybe it's 3 words or 4 words, and then make sure you understand it and go on to the next. And that takes a long time, so probably you can't do that if you in all of the whole davening, but maybe one day you do it in Shemona Esrei, and one day you do it in Sukkot Zimra. And we're not going to make all our davening, like transcendent, but we can improve it. And the second way, he said, is to prepare before we daven, to understand the words and to think what is going to be our kavanah. Like maybe our kavanah is to appreciate the natural world, or maybe our yeah. Or maybe our kavanot are to think about the people that we're davening for refuah, or for whatever they need, and that's a preparing. And the third way is the advice of the I'm saying Hasidim, but yes, Hasidim, and also Hasidim in the broader sense, is to take a good amount of time before davening to just prepare yourself through meditation and through thinking of like who you're standing in front of. So that's another way to do this. And as we do this, we should also ask Hashem to annul any harsh decrees, and bring us to Geula. Now, the second thing of annulling decrees is tzedakah. And in this time of extreme need among our people, we should give generous of our money and or our time, because there's a lot of needs. And, we're collecting here for Hatzalah and Zaka, who are, if you've seen any of the things of the people who have, who have done these things, they're doing a very needed and very, very difficult job, and they've run out of equipment. So, we need to really help them. And again, as we do this, as we use our particular talents or our money to make this physical world a better place and relieve the suffering as much as possible, we should be asking for Hashem's help. And the third thing is teshuvah. And so what can we learn from our parsha about this? So I'm only going to talk about the first pasuk in our parsha, which is Vayomer Hashem el Avram Lechecha me'artzecha mimolodetecha mibeit avicha el ha'aretz asher ereh. Go forth from your native land and from your father's house, the land that I will show you. So I'm going to read a little bit from Rabbi Sachs. That's all from many years ago. So actually, I'm really only doing the first two words, LechLecha. So there are many, the Meforshim give many opinions on it, because it's a weird phrase, LechLecha. Like why not just say Lech? Like why LechLecha? So Rashi says that it means journey for yourself, travel for your own benefit and good. There I will make you into a great nation. Here you will not have the merit of having children. And he would give birth to a new nation, and whose greatness consisted precisely of the ability to live by that voice and create something new in the history of mankind. Go for yourself. Believe in what you can become. Another interpretation is go with yourself, meaning by traveling from place to place, you can have more influence on more people. Like if he stayed where he was, he had influence on the people around him. You know, it's not like today when you can sit in your house and have influence on millions of people from, the internet. Then he really had to travel. So that's another thing. A third interpretation means go to yourself. LechLecha, go into yourself. The Jewish journey, says Rav David of Lelov, is a journey to the root of the soul. And Abraham was being asked to leave behind all the things that make us someone else. For it is only by taking a long and lonely journey that we discover who we truly are. So LechLecha means that we should go to the root of our soul. And that's the root that's connected to Am Yisrael, and that is connected to all of creation, and is connected to Hashem Yisbarach. And in that Dveikus, we can worship Hashem, and we can make changes in the world by that. And the fourth is, okay, so the third is go into your soul, and the fourth is go by yourself. That be willing to stand up in a world that doesn't believe in what you believe in. And I think that all of us are kind of, not as individuals, but as a people, are experiencing this now, because it's like an unbelievable thing that we're standing up for humanity and goodness, and we're being attacked, not just by evil people, but not just by people who believe in hatred and murder, but also by other people who are doing this. And this is LechLecha, that we need to be standing sometimes on our own, by ourselves. So all of these four dimensions are part of Abraham's journey and part of our own journey. Now, most of us have made the journey to a new place. You know, we're here, and we're not in the places we were born. And also spiritually, we're not in the places, we're in a different place here spiritually than whatever we were brought up with. You know, it could be that it's really far from this, or it's part of this but different, but we've made those things. But I feel like the third interpretation, finding the highest dimension of our soul and the connection to all of creation, I think that it goes on to say, go from your land and your birthplace and your father's house. And I feel like in this moment, a lot has been stripped away from us. Like when I have the unfortunate zchus to live I live on Merkaz Tzliel, so my window faces that billboard. And so, I see the different mayoral candidates every day. And I'm thinking, wow, like 3 weeks ago, that was like, so important. Who's going to be the mayor? Who's going to be the con? Who's going to be this? And then like I bought one of those nice planners from Cyril Roos, and I came home. It was at the boot camp, And like I came home and I filled in all these things that I was going to do. There was a whole thing I was going to do last week, and then in another week I had another thing, and I filled it all out. And you know, like I feel like now in a lot of ways we're like stripped down to the essentials: our people, our family, our land, our relationship with Hashem, our relationship with each other. And so in a lot of ways, all of the things that when you know, when we're living our regular life, so many things are important to us. And if we're asked to strip away from that, it's hard. Like even you know, the world around us and our influences and the things we really want, you know, the clothes we want to wear and all that. But I feel like now we are really at a point to connect to our own true self, our true high self. And when we do that, we will have the strength and direction to stand for what's right, and to, from the place of Devekas, we can raise our people and our world. And I bless all of us that we rise in this difficult but powerful time and bring light into this darkness by sincere and powerful prayer, by generous tzedakah of money, time, and effort, and with the kind of breakthrough teshuvah that will break through any obstacles. And with this light, may Hashem protect us all and bring home the hostages, heal the sick, fight with our soldiers, and bring our final redemption now. Amen. Yeah.
I just want to say something. Our words are really important. We don't bring Mashiach, okay? We prepare for ourselves.
Right.
So,
right, and that's what we need to do.
I'm going to add something what Kayla said. You know, every one of us went through the personal changes, good or bad, in a blink of an eye. Somebody gets a new grandchild. Wow, the situation changed for the good. Somebody has Khalila gets the bad announcement about health, or has Khalila somebody dies. Whoa, in a second. This time, Hashem changed all of us situation in a blink of an eye, to show us that the only way we can survive is to be together, because we have to be together. So going back to I see people coming a little later. I would like to repeat what I said before. This bag, for those who came later, we are collecting money for Hatzalah and Zaka. We did it last week. We will continue doing it throughout our learnings every day. As much as you can contribute, please do. Our breakfast is 25 shekels for the morning class, 20 shekels for the afternoon class. So people who are studying over there, for safety reasons, we move your table over here.